E3, it's the world's leading video game event. This is where all the magic happens. New video games are announced and the latest innovations are unveiled. Millions are waiting to see and experience the future. The global video game industry is estimated to have generated a whopping $135 billion in 2018 alone. Here to tell us more about the ever-growing industry of computer and video games is the CEO of the Entertainment Software Association, Stanley Pierre-Louis. Welcome to Tech Impact, Stan.
Thanks for being here. We're excited to have you at E3.
Excitement is the operative word. Walking around, it's easy to be overwhelmed. So this is where, as I said, all the magic happens. Talk to us about E3 and, of course, your organization.
Well, E3 is the premier event for our industry. It's when everyone in the video game world really focuses on what's new, what's next, and where the video game industry is going. We're excited to showcase so much this year. New titles, new devices, but also where the future is going. This year we're seeing many companies that are both traditional in the space and non-traditional. And because so much technology and innovation impacts where our industry is going, it's a great way to showcase your innovations to our audiences. The Entertainment Software Association is the voice and advocate for the video game industry in the United States. We talk to policymakers and we talk to the public at large about what we do so great for our economy and for our culture. We're great job creators. We're great on the trade surplus. We're great at creative expression. But most importantly, we're great at audience engagement and bringing people together. And we want to make sure we showcase all of those attributes of our industry to policymakers and to consumers at large.
So I think statistically, I think our viewers are going to be very surprised at how big the video game space is. It's a cutting edge industry, both creatively and technologically, with a huge economic impact. Please talk to us about that.
The video game industry in the United States today stands at $43.4 billion. And as you mentioned earlier, $135 billion worldwide. In the US, we have 164 million American adults playing and 2.6 billion worldwide. So we're a growing industry, and I think that speaks to the kinds of games we make and how we reach different audiences. 65% of players choose to play with other people, either online or in person. And that just shows you that the video games are bringing people together, creating communities, and that's really behind the growth. It's people playing together.
And speaking of stats, Stan, I understand that 75% of all American households have a gamer. That's huge.
That's exactly right. Our demographics have expanded because our games have expanded. Right now, 46% of gamers are women. And there are more women gamers than teenage boys.
Wow.
And just as many plus 50 as under 18 gamers. That just shows you the breadth of the games we make and how we reach different audiences.
So we've seen smart speakers, smartwatches, AR and VR. What's going on here?
Well, what you're seeing at this E3 is an evolution of the kind of exhibitor who wants to be here. You have traditional players who talk about the great games and the great technologies that they create. You also have non-traditional players who are talking about VR, AR, MR, and even streaming coming down the line. That's because our audience is diverse, dynamic, and digital first. They care just as much about the content and narrative of the game as they do with the processing speed behind how the game gets played. So it's an exciting time to be in our industry and to try to reach our really dynamic audience.
Speaking of diversity, Stan, as the industry continues to mature and evolve, so have the players. What are some of the more profound trends you're seeing now?
Well, we're finding that video game companies want to ensure that those who are making the games reflect those who are playing the games. The number of women in the video game industry has doubled since 2009. But you're also finding that diversity has grown into much more than ethnic and gender diversity. The Xbox Adaptive Controller, for example, represents a breakthrough in opening up video game play to those with accessibility needs. You're also seeing lots of outreach to the LGBT community as well as to veterans, because all people are reflected in the games today. You have more types of characters, more types of lead characters, and as that happens, more people feel like they're part of the game, and it creates a sense of identity within those who are playing the games.
Stan, I want to thank you so much for setting the stage for what we're about to explore today on Tech Impact. We're going to walk you through E3 and give our viewers a first-hand look at the amazing innovations and outstanding creativity that is evolving the video game industry.
There are some great things to see.
Buckle up, here we go.